All right. I think that works. I gotta be careful. My phone might fall out of here.
My phone.
Kelly's phone. My phone battery was dying, so we're using hers. Good evening. If you can hear me, let me know. Say hey. Glasses on my head. It shows there's 7 people, so it must be working. Her phone was being difficult. It didn't want to auto-rotate or anything.
This one's still saying waiting, so you might want to wait a couple minutes before you really get going.
Cosmos and NASCAR 427. There's already these bugs flying around my head. Is that a mosquito?
Probably.
Oh, now it's going too fast for me to say names. Hey guys, good evening everyone. So I'm out here in front of Larry behind us there with the bugs flying around my head. I have to go get the fogger out. All right, how's everybody doing, man? Keeping safe? Good morning from Australia. Same rules as always. If you're gonna ask a question, do it in all caps. That'll make things a lot easier for us to pay attention to them. A couple things. I was just going through my solar stuff today, and oh, it's not gonna let me do it from here. But when I pull up my history, we've only one day since we hooked up the rest of our solar panels have we not hit 100%. So every day except for that one day. So, but it's been more than 28 days. So every day, or actually 30 days, every day in the last 30 days, we've hit 100% on our battery charge every single day. That one day that was prior to 30 days that we didn't hit it was a super rainy day. It rained in all day long, and we got into the 90s. I don't remember what, but it was close. And we've been running air conditioning as much as we want and all that stuff. So this bug is gonna have to die because it's driving me nuts. I don't think I have the hand-eye coordination to find it though. Can you see it?
It's fast.
Man. Okay, there's a question there. I said, do I plan on putting a small pond on the property? No. Gen 6 Loco? Hey, thanks for the super chat. If you meant to type a question there to show up, I'll try to pay attention and see if you type something else. But much appreciated.
Let me know when you're ready for questions.
Yeah, go ahead. I saw those go by. I thought those were the first ones. They weren't.
Next class to be added to the stable, Squiggy.
The thing is Squiggy. The Volkswagen thing that we tow behind Lanny, that's actually his nickname is Squiggy.
When is your next trip to fix buses?
Soon. I got some buses coming here, and then we were just discussing the schedule and a couple of trips that we're gonna go do. So I'll be going down by Bruce. He just called me tonight asking me questions too. So you'll see some more bus content and Detroit content coming up soon.
Is Tyler going to use his bus for repairs, for mobile repairs?
No, I don't think that's really his plan, but it is going to be his house and he can travel in it.
He already has a service truck.
Yeah, he already has a service truck. The beauty of what I do is I can travel and then live in the bus. I don't have to get a hotel and all that. So when he goes somewhere and he stays in a hotel, that's really expensive. So it's cheaper for the client since I don't charge him for hotel bills and stuff like that. It works out good.
Are you looking forward to helping out Bruce Wilson?
Yeah, that should be a fun project. As long as he's got air conditioning in the shop.
And someone's asking, am I the only one that likes Larry's color? I like it. You don't like it, Scott?
I didn't say I didn't like it.
We're not saying anything.
No, well, I'm trying to figure out. It is more of a red color. It's not just like primer. It's like a burgundy. Yeah.
Color.
I mean, I don't care how it's like oversprayed on the bumper and stuff like that.
But I like the color. Scott, your solar system seems more efficient than any other on YouTube. Why is that?
Well, number one is that they're commercial grade panels, so they're a higher voltage. So when I get 54 volts out of each panel, and they make some that are even more, Wands is even more has, I think his are like 60 some volts. But I have mine set up two ways. I have series and I have series parallel. And if that bug lands between my hands, he's gonna get it. So the series ones, it keeps it at 54 volts, and then when it's a solar charge controller, that steps it down to 24 volts, and it doubles the amperage on there. So let's say on a sunny day at 54 volts, I'm getting at 2,000 watts. The panels are producing like 35 amps, and by the time that solar charge controller takes that 2,000 watts at 35 amps at 54 volts and brings it down to 24 volts, it doubles the amperage basically a little bit more. It takes the amps to 70 amps. So I get 70 amps out of 2,000 watts of solar panels coming in at 24 volts for 2,000 watts. And then I have the series parallel ones where it takes two 54 volts together and takes them up to 108 volts. And then the 108s tie in together. So two panels go to two panels to two panels. And that comes in at 108 volts, and then that steps it down to the 24 volts as well, and it boosts the amps up again. But I still get the same, so I'll get roughly 70 amps out of them. Actually, I get a little bit less. So comparing them side by side, here, I think I have a picture on my phone. Oops. Let's see if I can do this here.
Might want to go back to vertical and change it turn.
I think I like this. Yeah. Okay, let's see if you can see this. So if you...
Is it backwards for them then?
Oh, I don't know. Is it backwards?
I don't know. I'm
I think
delayed on here.
Yeah, I think it's backwards. So the one on this side for me that's 2061, that's actually 1962 watts of solar panels putting out 2,000 watts. So that's higher than the rating of the panels are supposed to be. That's full sun, and that's kicking out 70.1 amps at 24 volts. The one over here is the one that are series parallel, and I actually have over 2,000 watts. I have like 2,400 watts of panels on that, which that charge controller is supposed to max out at 2,000. So you can't blame it because it's not getting the extra 400, but it is still a lower number. As where the first one was 2061, that one's 2030. But look at the amperage on it. I'm only getting 69.8. Is that what it is? 69 or yeah. So that's an amp and a half, 1.2 amps less power that I'm getting out of and that's actually more panels. Again, it maxes out at 2,000, so you can't hold that against the panel for that, but it's not giving me as many amps as I get out of this one, which is less wattage. And if you get any bit of shading comes on these ones that are series parallel, just a little bit of shade in one panel, the whole thing just falls off exponentially. So if you have anything that causes shading on your roof, or if not all of those panels are in 100% sun all day, then you don't get as good of a result from it. So the answer to the question is I'm using a high, a lot of people use 12 volt panels, and by the time you take a 12 volt panel, it's 100 watt or a 200 watt panel that's at 12 volts. They can't step it down the way that I'm doing and boost the amps. Now they could hook them in series parallel and do that, but you're not starting with as high of a number as if you hook two 12 volt ones together, well, now you're up to 24 volts. Or if you add four of them together in series to go series parallel, you're still under 50, as where I was at 105. So the higher voltage, you get more amps when you bring it down. So because we have those high watt or high voltage panels, that's why it's so much more efficient. And I have to thank Juan for that, because I would have never done that. A watt is a watt, but you also have higher volts. So volts 120, I have 108 volts versus 12 volts at 2,000 watts. Which one has more power to it? So a watt is a watt. Yes, absolutely it is. But the voltage is higher. And when you step the voltage down, you're doubling your amps every time you do that.
Is Tyler's bus identical to yours?
No. Same model number, but his is a at serial number 500 and something, they made some changes to it, and his is a pre-500.
I just got a super chat if you want to look at that.
Jerry, how is your back and neck holding up with all that back-breaking work? I haven't really had any issues, other than like sitting for long periods of time actually hurts my back. But other than that, I'm doing great. Knock on wood, things, a lot of stuff that I've been doing, even though I've been doing like shoveling and things like that, I haven't had any issues. So very, very thankful for that.
How much would you estimate it would take to put solar on a 1,500 square foot home? It depends on what they're using.
Yeah, it depends on what you're using. If you're using mini splits and stuff like that, first thing I would do is get a hold of Santan Solar, because they're selling the used panels. Why pay full price for a new panel when you can get a used one that's still got like 20 years left in the warranty for like a fourth of the price or a third of the price of what new ones are? They're just as good. Again, these I'm getting more power out of them than what they're rated at on sunny days. What more could you ask for? So solar panels, those the ones that are 320 watts, and if you buy them in bulk, he gave me the price of $90 a panel. They're normally $110 is their price. So if you want to look up what those SunPower 320 watt panels are, I believe they're normally like 450, 500 bucks. If you can get them for 110 used, that's just, that's crazy cheap. And then, of course, I love the Victron stuff, the Victron solar charge controllers. There's other companies and brands that are out there, but I remember I had that Renogy one that went out, and that's what caused that whole nightmare for me, where the solar charge controller went out and it cooked my batteries, ruined my battery bank, and it started that whole vicious cycle of, we were screwed. We had no house system on the road, and I had to buy all new stuff. So, Victron is the way that I would go. I wouldn't go cheap. I wouldn't go no name. And again, I had brand name stuff and I still had problems with it. The Victron I've been very happy with. And you can monitor it with the app. You can set it at different battery voltages. You can change everything. You can change inside there. It's amazing.
What's the temp inside your battery housing at max of use?
What is my temp?
What is the temperature in there?
In the battery bay?
Yeah.
It's never gone over like 108 degrees in that bay ever. And that was in the winter when I had a heater going. So the batteries don't put off a lot of heat in there, and the BMS that's built into the Battleborn batteries takes care of all that stuff for me. So it has overcharge control. If the temperature gets over temperature, it doesn't allow the battery to charge, it shuts it down. If it gets below, it stops the batteries as well from being charged. You can still use them, but you can't charge them between the certain temperatures. The batteries are smart enough, the BMS that's built into them is all set.
It was over 90 the other day, and
yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. Does Bruce have air conditioning in their shop?
He told me he was going to by the time I got there, so fingers crossed.
Any trips to Australia planned? Plenty of bus enthusiasts down here.
I'd love to go on vacation. We had talked before about Stu, and if you follow Stu, you saw that something happened. He got hurt in a boating accident and came out of surgery today, and both his hands are broken and busted up and stuff. So what happened if he said, I haven't seen it, but it's certainly, wow, it's not a good thing. But yeah, we would love to come down to Australia and visit for sure.
When are you putting the turbos on the bus?
That was going to be a fun project to do, and I have no fun project funds available for probably a long time now, so don't bring it up anymore because it's painful. I can't afford it, man. It ain't gonna happen for a long time. I'm sorry.
Where do you live in Tennessee?
We live in Hickman County, so southwest of Nashville. About 45 minutes. Depends on traffic.
Did the fog help with the bugs?
Clearly not tonight, as I've had one flying around my head here.
Well,
but
you didn't fog tonight.
That is true. I saw bugs falling out of the sky when I was fogging yesterday, so probably just need to keep spraying an insecticide or something like that around the areas where we go. This weekend, Lee is going to come out, and he's going to bring his chainsaw in his truck, and we're going to start removing trees over where the shop's going to be built. So we're going to start clearing out that area there. So I definitely want to get in there and start doing some spraying for ticks and stuff like that prior to his arrival to hopefully cut down on ticks with it.
Can you get those silver side panels or make them?
Yeah, there's replacement siding. Well, you can get used siding off of parts buses. Tyler's already got 2 Feathers is going to get him some siding to help him patch some holes and stuff like that.
Will Tyler and Scott keep the same colors or go with something matching?
I don't know what he's going to do. You'll have to ask Tyler. Last I heard, he's wanting to do it black, and I strongly recommended that he does not do it black, just because the solar gain on a black bus is atrocious. But that being said, it's his bus. He can do whatever color he wants.
Are you going to put Larry with the same layout as Lenny?
That's totally up to Tyler what he's going to do, but I'm going to say no.
He hasn't really said.
No, but I would assume he would do a side aisle, because you get a lot, I think, in a silver size, because they're skinny and because the way that roof curves. If you do a center aisle, then whatever you have off to the side, you have no headroom whatsoever. So a side aisle and a silver size is pretty smart way to go.
How are the dents repaired on the bus panels?
Well, it's very thin extruded aluminum that's on there. Most people don't repair them. You could replace if you have other, but it's anodized, and getting the anodized to match and all that, it's just best. Like mine, we stripped down and buffed it. This one will probably clean up halfway decent. Nobody's totally destroyed it, but you can see where the Greyhound dog used to be on the side there. You can see all those extra holes and staining, which it's all character for the bus. So it can get cleaned up, and you can put some white glue or something on that anodized, and it should look pretty nice. Or he can strip it all down and buff it and go that route.
Have you ever wanted to work on an EMD diesel?
Yeah, that would be fun. So it's basically a giant 2-stroke diesel, with pistons the size of 5-gallon buckets kind of thing. That would be really fun.
Does Larry have more or less mileage on him?
We have no way of knowing. I have no idea. It's probably similar.
Is Tyler headed back already?
Oh, he's back home he's been up there for 2 days, 2 days? Wasn't it
Yeah.
yesterday? Was it the day before?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been up there for a couple days, back home. I think he wants to come down in a couple weeks and work on the bus maybe, but we'll see. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got to work on that truck for me to get that truck on. Fix that transmission in it.
Whose idea was it for you to start a YouTube channel?
It was mine. I had a lot of questions on things, and there was no information out there when I got my first bus. Like, how do I do this? And I was really good about, I wanted to know what was behind, when I went to take something apart, I wanted to know what it looked like ahead of time before I got into it. And there was no information like that out there. So that's how I started. Like, I'm going to do this project, and I would film it and then post it up there so other people that had buses would know ahead of time what they were getting into, or, what was involved in replacing an airbag, or, how the suspension worked, or, how the brake system worked, or, anything, if they're going to fix a seal on a cam pulley, what they were getting into when they got into it.
How did you learn to use heavy equipment like a backhoe, etc.? Do you weld?
I don't know how to use heavy equipment like a backhoe or anything. I've never done that. His tractor, I just hopped on it here. I used to drive a forklift at one of my jobs when I worked at an airport. But people who are professionals clearly know that I don't know how to drive a tractor. So
He gave you a quick lesson.
yeah, he did give me a quick lesson. He, pull this, do that. I figured it out.
Do you need to do anything special when you power up the inverter the first time?
Make sure you have everything hooked up right. But other than that, no, nothing. And just check it with the app and everything. You got to, depending on like the batteries that you have to program some parameters for charging the type of batteries that you have, be it lead acid or lithium or whatever. And not all lithiums are the same, so it might even depend on the specific brand. Like Battleborns aren't the same as Victron lithiums. Their charge parameters are a little bit different and stuff. So check with the battery manufacturer, and then you have to program that kind of stuff in there. Yes.
Have you seen any country music stars around there? Alan Jackson supposedly lives in Tennessee.
There are a
lot
lot
in
of country music stars that live in Tennessee.
No, we've been holed up on the property.
Yeah, we haven't really left our property much. I know where several people do live, though, especially by Lance, down in Franklin. There's a bunch of them there, and I know where some of them, their homes are that are down that way. That's cool stuff too.
Did you put Jake's on Lenny, or is that on your list?
Still waiting on a few parts. George has a lot of it. I still got to get the valve cover, so I need a 671 inline Jake brake valve cover. Once I have that, then between George and the parts that I currently have, I'll have everything to put the Jakes on the bus.
It's supposed to be Hicko K45.
Hickok,
Hickok?
that's a gun guy, and no,
Hickok?
that is not our
Is it-
awesome
it's
neighbor.
supposed to be Hickok? Okay.
Yeah, that guy lives up several counties away, closer to Kentucky. I forgot the name of the county, but that's the same county where Upchurch lives or whatever. But yeah, no, that is not our awesome neighbor.
Have you checked out where Larry's Greyhound route was?
I haven't. I hadn't even looked up his serial number from as far as which Greyhound lines he was at. I should probably do that. I have the list on our Bus Grease Monkey website that shows the delivery list from GM. I could look it up and see what specific franchise of Greyhound owned him, and see where that wouldn't necessarily tell us where he ran. We could maybe look at the destination sign. There is a sign in there. I haven't gone through it, and see if he went to some of the same places.
Will you or Tyler ever be putting an original dog back on your bus?
I want to. I have the aluminum dogs at our house, but I think I'm going to go with the vinyl decals instead. My bus has never had. They had Greyhounds had either stickers that they used, decals, or they had the metal dogs. My bus has 0 holes in the siding where the dog went. So mine did not have metal dogs on the side, but it did have the decal or painted dogs on the side. So I'm probably not going to put holes in it. So even though I first had the aluminum dogs made, I'm probably going to go with a sticker that goes on it.
How and why Tennessee?
Because it's pretty awesome. Well, we would travel through Tennessee so much from everywhere that we go to. It's kind of the crossroads. We always end up back in Tennessee. We've got Lance and other friends that are down here. We like the area. It's hilly. The property was cheap. It's a good tax state to be in. Lots of advantages and reasons to be here.
How many acres do you have?
Almost 25.
Do you use a CB radio on the highway?
I used to. I took it out. This time we were at home. The antenna fell off about a year ago. Most of the trucker stuff that I would communicate with, it wasn't enjoyable. There's a lot of bad attitude guys on there. There's a lot of racist assholes on there. Just the conversations that they were having, I didn't enjoy it. Did I just swear? I'm sorry. I think I did. I didn't mean to. But they're really bad on there. It's very annoying, and then it just wasn't as useful as it used to be. And with the traffic, they would show the traffic used to be the thing. Like you got something coming up, getting is the faster lane and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't using it, and it was kind of annoying. And she didn't like the sound of it going off all the time too.
Don't blame me.
But you didn't like it.
I was ready to rip it out of the wall.
Yeah, she hated it. So.
Long-term plans or thoughts over the next several years for the property or Lenny?
Well, we're going to be building a shop, like a barn dominium, and then hopefully a container home here. And then hopefully we'll have some more RV spots around the property. Tyler's going to have a little pole barn here. He's going to work on stuff. And then, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And we have plenty of space here to do pretty much whatever we want.
Will you use a wood-fired heating device in the shop or house?
I hadn't originally planned on it, but as much trees as we have here and wood as we have here, and I always have to find something to do with the wood. So yeah, I'll probably end up having something wood-fired here.
How hard is it to change drum brakes over to disc brakes on a silver side?
I've never done it. You would have to swap the whole front axle, I assume, with something that's more modern, and I'm sure anything can be done, but that's a lot of weight and a lot of work, especially because these are leaf spring buses. But I would assume you can find something, even a school bus or something like that, that's got modern stuff that you could swap it into their leaf spring suspension axle. I would assume.
What is Larry's birth number?
I think he's 117. I don't remember though.
I know it's one something, Tyler said.
Yeah.
Does Lenny have any broke leaf springs, or are they just collapsed?
No, they're just saggy. Super saggy. There's not much spring left in them. The rears especially, and yeah, but none of them are broken, fractured, anything like that. They're just worn out, old. Had a lot of weight on them for 73 years.
Do you have a home in Indianapolis?
In Avon, so west side of Indianapolis, western suburb of Indianapolis, that will be selling in a couple months.
How's Larry's sag around the back emergency door? It looks pretty good from here.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he has no sag in the back like my bus has.
Any possibility of painting Lenny a new color?
I'm not going to change the color on Lenny, but he's going to get painted. But yeah, he's not going to. We're still going to stick with a similar color. Maybe not the exact same one, but real similar.
Will Tom Feller be coming to play at your grand opening? That would be awesome.
That would be fun. Yeah, I don't know that we'll ever have a grand open. We're not going to have an open to commercial public shop here. My shop that I have here is just for mostly, you won't be able to just come here. You have to know us. It's just a shop where I can work on old buses here. Maybe we'll buy some buses and flip them and stuff like that too. But it's not going to be just general public can come here and get their buses worked on. That's not what we're going to have.
Are you going to get the nut coolers working on the buses?
Yeah, I'm sure. Sure we will. I prefer ball blasters, but I don't know which one nut cooler works too.
Well, now your blaster, I think heat though.
Oh yeah. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's that little vent right there in the front. It flips open and that comes right in the driver's crotch. It's just this full blast right in your junk.
But what if I was driving?
Okay. I won't say what I was going to say.
I want to know what you're going to say.
I can't do it right now.
How do you keep your water system from freezing during cold months? You go somewhere warm.
We go somewhere warm. That is our plan. Yeah. No, for heating in there, I have a waterbed heater under the fresh water tank. So I got a 100-gallon fresh water tank. If you keep that relatively full, the waterbed heater under it's 300 watts. So it's not a whole lot of power. And that just warms that water tank. And then the thermal mass of that water tank in the insulated bay, it keeps everything from freezing real nice on there. I also have a small ceramic heater I can run in there if I need to on super cold days. But usually driving down the road at 20 degrees, I think it was 15 degrees when we were in Minnesota this year or something like that. It did find nothing even thought about freezing under there because of the thermal mass that we had in there and because it's insulated.
These buses have speedometers but no odometers?
That is correct. They used to have a hubometer usually, but none of that stuff usually works anymore. You can't trust what reading it is, but guaranteed it's got millions of miles on it. I have no doubt in my mind that it's 1.5 to 2 million would be the absolute. That would be a low mileage model. If you think about how much it got used, every single day, Greyhound on a route for 10 years, Greyhound would own them, and then they would sell them off to a second tier provider who would run them in a pretty hard charter service. Then probably pretty hard for another 10 years, and then some of them were still, into the 70s. They were still running them as charter buses and things like that. So it's got a lot of miles on it.
How much would new leaf springs cost for the whole bus?
Sage found a place who's got some pretty good prices, and I'm waiting to see how his install goes before I invest the money. I think his rears for $900 a piece. I was quoted close to $2,000 per set of leaf springs. So not per set, per spring. So I'd have been looking for about $4,500 actually for just the two rear leaf springs. I'm not worried about changing my fronts right now. He had to change his fronts because Sage's fronts were all busted up.
Do you love the new property?
Yes, I more than love it.
Does Larry have a newer 671 in it?
I haven't checked the block serial number on it, but it's not a low block. So it's definitely not a 1947 block. Like mine has a 1952 block, I believe is what mine is from. I would assume his is somewhere around that vintage as well. So it's just a slightly later modeled block that's in there. But his engine is super strong. His bus, that is in better shape than Lenny when I got Lenny. So
Have you used the mini split for heat yet?
yes. Yeah, it works just fine.
How is the weather looking for maintenance work at that spot? Not sure what that means.
Tyler's new parking spot is looking terrible over there, if that's what you're asking. That is a mud hole right now because it has rained every single day since we did that. It rained today, it rained yesterday, the day before.
It rained when you were doing it.
It rained while I was doing it. It is not pretty over right now. There's zero chance that bus is getting parked right there right now because it'll sink down to the axle set.
Have you gave the property a name yet?
We have not. I have a hard time coming up with a name. Don't want to rush it, so you can keep suggesting names and we'll consider just about anything.
What is the history of Larry?
I haven't looked it up. It's not my bus.
I'm sure Tyler will look into all that.
He will. I'm sure he'll care about it. He probably already knows, but I have no idea.
Will Larry be getting a mini split?
He's getting probably my 2 roof airs that I had on my bus. I think there's already 2 holes cut in his roof. I know one of them's there. I don't know if there's 2. I think there's 2 already though.
Yeah. He's using all of our leftovers
Yeah,
for now.
he's maybe later on do something else.
Have you thought about getting some free-range chickens to eat all those ticks?
We've briefly talked about it, but not like seriously talked about it, so I don't know. What would we do with chickens? And then are they going to get run over? I think that was Kelly's concern.
Or the coyotes get them?
Or the coyotes will get them, or something else
that
will eat
would
them.
just kill me.
This bug right here is driving me nuts. Get away, bug.
Do you have a mortgage on the property?
No. Damn bug. Go bother somebody else.
How much work does Lenny need done?
Not much. Lenny's a good bus. He's ready to go.
I think your leaf springs is the next
The
big
leaf
thing.
springs definitely need to get done. That is the next big project on there. And then the rear wheel bearings need to be redone still. Wheel bearings, races. They're fine to drive on for now, and some brake work in the back. But he's good to go for now.
Has the Discovery Channel contacted you for a show?
No.
And the answer would be?
No.
Exactly.
Not interested.
Will you be returning to North Carolina to work on Mark's Wander Lodge?
At some point, yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to
That's
get
okay.
through here.
There's a lot of comments.
So I haven't been keeping track, making sure that nobody's
It's hard to
misbehaving.
keep it, yeah.
Where's Kelly from? You can answer that while I'm reading.
She is from Northwest Indiana, where we grew up at. So she was, most of her life, she was in Hobart, Indiana, and then Griffith. She graduated from Griffith High School. And then we lived up in Crown Point, St. John area for a while. And then we moved to Avon, Indiana in 2000 and lived there since, roughly. And then the last couple of years, we've been on the bus.
Do those engines use old school engine oils?
Yeah, CF2 rated, straight 40 weight, no modern engine oils in them.
Rodney Middleton says, hey, Scott bought a 1947 3751 473 today.
Wow. Very cool, Rodney.
We should have
Go
sprayed
grab
first.
my off. Go grab my off, please.
Okay, well, you go ahead and talk now.
Yeah, that's a cool bus, Rodney. I like those. How many buses do you have now, then? Poor Rodney. Poor Rodney's wife, right? She'll be back in a second to read questions. Rodney has 3. All right, let me see if I can do this. It'll keep him away from banging in my head. I'd stay away from me because I stink now too. Phew. I think Brent had 12 buses, I think is what I thought.
How many jobs did you cancel due to COVID?
A lot.
I'm guessing somewhere between 30 and 40 we would have done ish.
Yeah.
Because there was over a dozen of them on our Florida trip.
It was a lot. It hurt. I'm
guessing at least 30.
Yeah.
We'll eventually get them in, hopefully.
This is a fly that's on my camera there. I was going to walk in front of the lens. But that thing's still flying around. Stop it.
You got it. I just saw him fall.
Really?
Yeah, he fell when you
Yeah, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Should use chopsticks.
Brandon wants to know what you think of the 1-inch drive. Forgot to ask you.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool tool. I reached out to Milwaukee about seeing if they would sponsor it, but they're not interested in doing anything like that. So I'm not going to promote their product for free now. But my DeWalt is, I've had it for a long time. It's done really well, but it's really, it's on its last leg. Yeah. And the battery housings on mine are cracked, and I just wanted to get new housings. The inside of the batteries are still fine. And I went to the DeWalt store and I'm like, he's like, well, it's not covered under warranty because you dropped it, but they're broken, but I've actually never dropped them. So they just broke from being fragile, maybe getting, hit on something when I'm taking a tire, but I've never dropped those ever. I would know if I did that. But they just break under normal use. The little around the screws takes a little stress, all the vibrations, whatever. But I'm like, okay, that's fine, but can I just buy a new case for them? They're like, yeah, we don't sell that. So it sucks because the lithium part of the battery is perfect. It's just the case that's no good on them. So,
does Larry need a lot of work done?
Yeah. Not much in the driveline side of things, but just 25 years of deferred maintenance on him, and then some corrosion stuff where that bumper needs to be fixed, and he needs to go through the brakes, and he's got to go through all the wheels, the bearings, repacking them and that kind of stuff. Steering was tight on it. He's converting it over to spring brakes and stuff like that. That definitely needs to happen.
Since I skipped your question, sorry, I didn't mean to. Go ahead and ask it again. Have you considered using a DSLR plus GoPro setup for filming videos, stepping up production quality?
No, because that would greatly increase the amount of time that I spend in editing the video. Right now I shoot everything on my phone. It's shot on the phone, edited on the phone, uploaded from the phone. Just I can sit there, boom, 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 do it, it's done. If I switch to a DSLR, which I had in the past, by the time I transfer the files to a computer, edit it in the computer, render it on the computer, upload it from the computer, it's so much more time involved. Right now I have it very simple the way that I have it. I'm sorry it's not better, but it's 80% less time on my part, and I don't have the extra time to spend doing it. So no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go to Columbia tomorrow, by the way. So we're like 20 miles from Columbia.
30.
30, 32 miles.
When we went that one day, it was 32 miles.
Yeah,
we went.
depending on where we were going in Columbia. Yeah.
What is your preferred jack, air or non-air, to lift buses?
Oh, air for sure.
What type?
Well, I have. Mine is. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. But I love that low profile one that I have because that'll get under the buses that have airbags that are already really low to the ground. I love that low profile one. One of my YouTube viewers gave me that a couple years ago. Maybe it was last year. I don't remember. And I have a taller one. It's just got it from Amazon, so it's not Harbor Freight, but it's about the same quality as a Harbor Freight one. Which a lot of my clients have the Harbor Freight ones. They work just fine.
Any plans to work with the bus boys in Minneapolis?
Oh yeah, but I just don't know how that's going to happen right now, and I haven't been in contact with them. I know that their whole business has been completely shut down for the most part. Commuter buses, people weren't commuting. Charter buses, their whole charter side of it. Nobody's going on charters anywhere. So I'm assuming that they're not going to have a lot of funds to take care of vintage bus fleet things. So
How long have you been married?
20, almost 27 years, right? Yes. You're an asshole for asking that question.
You got it right. So, what do you think of modern diesel fuel? Lower sulfur. Any issues with old engines?
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with it. So I use fuel additives in there. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the sulfur put back in the fuel, so there's nothing you can do about it. So just go through it and do what you can do. What?
Name the property. Magic Fingers Mansion.
Oh, I like that.
I don't know about mansion.
Yeah, we don't have a mansion. Magic Fingers Trailer Park.
They're not trailers. This one wasn't in capitals, but I had a 1947 Silversides bus that I am trying to sell. Is there any special place to list it?
How much? How much are you selling it for? And does it run and drive? We'll come back to it if he answers that.
How many gallons of diesel does Lenny hold?
Like 120-ish, I think. 40 gallons and 78 gallons in one tank, but I really only get about 60 to 65 usable out of there. I wouldn't ever trust it more than 60 though. And yeah, so 40 in the other one, that most of that is usable. Like usually we can get like 38 gallons or so.
Usually when I fill up, between 36 and 37 is
Okay.
what it transfers. How was it sleeping in the scenic cruiser in North Carolina?
I just slept on the couch of the scenic cruiser. I was very tired, so it was fine. And when the sun came up, I woke up.
When your shop is built, will you have other employees, or is this?
No, I won't have employees.
Where can you purchase the green Detroit diesel engine paint?
Just about anywhere. It's called Alpine Green or Detroit Diesel Alpine Green. Napa probably sells it. Yeah, People Color I think makes it too, and there's a whole bunch of, yeah, you can just about anywhere. Any auto place online, you can probably order it too.
What does it mean when a diesel engine makes blue light smoke?
That's usually burning oil. So that.
Can Jake brakes affect fast idle? Both went out at the same time.
So your buffer switch that's in there has a limiter on there. So yes, that can be on the same thing because depends on which engine that you're on. But yes, the short answer to the question is yes. So that could be a possibility for it.
Just had a super chat.
Who's this from? Keith. Thanks for the always genuine, down to earth entertainment. It's where part of the viewers can help keep. I don't have my glasses on. It's rare or hard to get the parts your viewers can help keep their eyes out for. Yes. they can help us find that some of that stuff, and they have helped me come up with some things, and that's how George, has given me some of the other parts for the Jake brakes, and I got the Jake brakes themselves also from another viewer too. So all that stuff it helps.
When do you plan to start traveling for jobs again?
I don't know. So I've got a couple of things coming up. We're probably gonna go down and we're gonna go down in sometime this month or June for that stuff with Brute down in Florida, and then just kind of see how that goes and see how the country's doing at that point. And we're kind of watching the infection rates and that kind of stuff too. And we're doing our part when we go somewhere public, wearing our masks and trying to use hand sanitizer and things like that. We definitely don't want to spread it to somebody else, but things have definitely changed in the last 6 months. So I'm not at this point. I'm not committing to anything.
What's the newest bus you have worked on?
Probably like a 90s Prevost.
What editor are you using on your phone?
Just iMovie built into the iPhone, free.
Have you posted a spring brake conversion on a 4106?
Yeah, we did it on one of Lance's buses, Lance's 4106 Miss Budweiser. We did that this year, so that whole process is on there, or at least most of it is. And then I've done spring brake conversions on other buses. And there's just another super chat here. I can't even read who it's from though.
I think glasses over there.
My glasses are super dirty. JD Angel 25. Hello from New Zealand. Me and my dad love videos. That's cool, man. Thank you. I'd love to go to New Zealand someday too.
That's definitely on my bucket list.
I think I sprayed my off on my glasses. That's why they're so nasty right now.
Do you not like wet axles?
The problem why I don't like them on buses are on these old buses is because the tolerances aren't there anymore. When you get some wear on the spindle, and now everything, you have the spindle and the bearing and everything fits perfectly and it's aligned. Well, now you get a little bit of wear in the spindle, so the bearing's not exactly there. Well, when it cocks this way a little bit, that seal at the end isn't perfectly sealing anymore, and the oil will come out all over the place, and it gets on your brakes. And so if you owned a shop or in commercial service, you could have the axle doctor come out and fix up your axles, $2,000, $3,000 per axle, and then you're good to go, and you can keep the oil in there and do it. Or these older buses like this, if you need to keep them on the road, you just switch to grease, and then you change it every 25, 30,000 miles. You get in there and repack them and put them on there, and grease doesn't all get out and get on your brakes and that kind of thing. So the grease is a lot more is better for use when the tolerances aren't there anymore, when there's wear on the parts and you can't have it anymore. It's better.
How did you get into flying?
Probably the same story as everybody. You look at an airplane and think, wow, that's cool. And you said flying, right? Yeah. So, and then my brother owned a company that they towed banners behind airplanes. So I had the ability to use his airplane whenever I wanted to. All I had to do was pay for fuel. So that made it super cheap for flight school and all that kind of stuff. All I had to do was pay for fuel. And then I got a job working for another company that towed banners, and I could fly any of their airplanes as well, and just had to pay for fuel. So it was just, loved it. It was fun. It was exciting. It was a challenge. But yeah, probably since I don't know, I remember my first commercial airline flight when I was a kid, Delta. I got to go up into the cockpit, and they used to let you sit in the seat and that kind of stuff before you would take off, and they don't do that kind of stuff anymore, but they gave you like a little pair of wings that you could wear, and that, probably then.
Someone says, looks like Larry's left rear tire is demounted.
No, it looks like Larry's left rear tire is clean. I don't think it's demounted. It kind of looks like that from here. It's deceiving, but it's not. that darker color that's around there, it's not. There's another super chat. Robert Davis, the Jake brakes are on a 8V92, so an FC96A3, non-electronic. The owner said the fast idle stopped working when the Jakes went out. Yeah, so it's all has to do with that buffer switch. So the Jakes won't fire if they're on that buffer switch in there, and it stops you from having your foot on the throttle and having the Jakes on at the same time. Basically, is what it does. So, and it also stops it for when you come up to an idle, you can't have the Jakes on, and it'd kill the engine basically. So that buffer switch is controlling that, and that's all built in there, and that's the same thing as the fast idle. It's got a little piston that shoots out in there that raises the idle on there. So it's definitely that switch.
Vicky Collins is asking, did you get my message? That must mean no. How about that look?
How did you send the message, Vicky? It's not ringing a bell to me. I'm not sure when you sent it and how you sent it, but I don't think so.
Okay, 3,500, and yes, it does run and drive. So I'm guessing that's the person that said about the silver sides.
Where's it at? Where's that silver sides at?
Does Lenny smoke when cold?
No.
What about Larry?
No. Well, we haven't started him when it's cold yet, but as quickly as he starts and he doesn't hunt or anything at all, yeah, I'm going to say no. I saw somebody just say Idaho. Was that the guy that was saying that's where the silver side's at?
Yes.
Cool.
What is the purpose of fast idle?
On buses like that, it is to, well, when they run the air conditioning on the buses or the heating system with the big blower motors, it's to keep the alternator charging faster, and also like the air system to build up quicker, stuff like that.
What brand model hotspot are you using?
The Verizon Jetpack. I don't know what number or whatever the device is. I don't know what it, but that's what it is.
What sort of bus is that in the background?
That's a 3751. So same as Lenny. GM.
Is the 6V92 in my 79 Brigadier semi-truck similar to your bus engines?
Yeah, they're exactly the same. Other than mine are 71 series, not 92, and mine's an inline and yours is a V. But when the 6V92s are in a bus, they're exactly the same as what's in a truck. There's no difference.
Those buses use number 2 diesel first. Is that still available in your area?
Yeah, number 2 is available everywhere, but these actually use kerosene or fuel oil.
What year did Detroit switch from 71 to 92?
I don't know what year it was. It wasn't, they didn't just quit. They started using the 92. It was just a newer line that they had, but I don't think they just quit cold turkey on them.
Okay, we're gonna finish
It's
up
starting
here
to
soon
rain,
because it's
yeah.
raining on us. Do you see many fluid fans out there on Detroits?
A lot, yes. Almost all the GMs, that's what they have. Not this model here and the next, well, after 4106, almost everything, or a lot of the transit buses as well, all have the fluid dry fans.
Where do I find out about undeveloped property in Tennessee?
So we used a realtor.
I think you can go on Zillow though, and I mean, not everything's on there.
Yeah, but you know what? I tried looking online. It was so much easier to go with a realtor because they pull up the listings. They know what you're looking for. Jennifer White, you know how to spell her name?
Is it Weithman?
It's Weithman. I'm not sure how to spell it, but
You're friends with her on Facebook, so
Yeah,
if they go to your friends,
I can give you her name, or you can look her up. She did a great job for us, and she had a whole bunch of listings. This just happened to be on the first few that we looked at. Cheap. I mean, we're like $2,000 an acre. That's cheap. And $2,000 an acre to be able to have city water, electric hookup, natural gas, that kind of stuff. And it perks for septic and everything.
how about Lenny's Ranch for property name?
I don't hate it, but that's not the name.
We'll know it when we hear it. I like your original name, so. What brand fogger did you get?
Black Flag. They're all the same though. Yeah. Those little propane ones like that.
Did you ever work on a Mercedes bus?
No. You can stop there.
How has the solar panels been doing on Lenny?
Perfect. 100% batteries every single day for the last month. Everything we would want to do, air conditioning all day long, cloudy days, sunny days, all the cooking she wants to do. Hey, DJ, thank you. I will enjoy that. 20 pounds. Is that what that is? A pound?
Yep.
Oh.
Do they remake the side panels, or can you buy that material anywhere?
You can, I'm sure you can have it remade, but there's enough scrapped buses out there where there's parts that are available and you can pull that siding off of. But if you want it new, it would cost a fortune, I think, to have that extruded in the exact same thing.
Would you recommend an 8V71?
Yeah, they're a good engine. I like 8V71s.
Another super chat.
Man, I can't read. Philip Muth, to help keep the dream alive. Man, thank you so much. Yeah, money is really tight right now. that definitely helps for sure. Every little bit helps.
What additive do you use for a bus that is sat a while?
Additive?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Hyperlube. I like for the engine oil. Other than that, just an oil change. Once you get get it going through, clean things out, change your filters. And the fuel setup, depending on, I have the outside that I'll throw in there, or biocide, and then like House or diesel service, power service, whatever that stuff is, kind of stuff too.
Do you know of anyone in North Carolina that works on Rolls Royces?
No. There is somebody on here though that watched. One of our viewers is a Rolls Royce guy. I don't know where he's at though.
Will you do more solar videos?
Yes, for sure. Tomorrow we're going to go to Columbia, Tennessee, to the metal shop again and get another plate made to cover up that rear air conditioner. We're going to pull all the rear air conditioner off of my bus and put the other 2 solar panels up there to complete all the roof solar panels for now.
You hope to go tomorrow. I looked and it might be pouring rain all day.
We have windows and a top that can go on the car. I gotta fix my brake lights. Oh my God, my thing does not have brake lights. Somebody pulled up behind me yesterday and yelled, "Hey, you got no brake lights?" And I'm like, crap. So from then on, I would come to a stoplight, and whenever I touched the brake, I would turn on the head into it. Thought, well, maybe it's a bulb, so I pull the plastic housing off on the back. Look at the bulb. Bulb's blown. Go ahead and get the meter out, check it. There's no 12-volt power coming to it. But the tail light would come. It's a double bulb, double element bulb. The tail light one would work, but the brake light, there was no power that would come to it. So then I went to look up the fuse diagram, and the fuse number 2, I think it was, is the one that goes for the stop lamp or stop light switch or whatever it's called. That fuse is not blown. Next thing I did was get under there for the brake light switch that's on the whatever it's on, the hydraulic. I don't know. And it is, pulled the plug off of there. It was some dirt and corrosion in there. Put the multimeter on it. Mine has a 3-prong one, which I believe the 2 on the side are supposed to be, one of them's the hot, and one of them goes to the dash light, I think, is the middle one, and then the other one is the pass through. And there's none of them are hot, so I put the probe on all 3, so there's no power getting to the switch on there. So I think I'm just going to rig it and figure out which one is supposed to be the one that has the power to it, and just run a new wire to it, because I couldn't figure out where that wire goes to and gets its power from. The wiring diagram that I downloaded on the internet was extremely complicated, and when I opened up the dash panel on there, there's just a rat's nest of wires everywhere, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be a while. So the easy thing to do would just be to run a new power wire to that switch, and that should get my brake lights working again. But I gotta have the brake lights fixed before I drive the car. So I think I just saw another super chat come in there, but unfortunately I can't see a thing. No, I really can't see a thing. Bill, welcome to Tennessee. Best wishes. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that.
How many fuel stops did you make with Larry bringing him home?
We filled up right when we left the Ben's place. So like 5 miles down the road, we filled up, and then we just stopped one time, 200 miles into it, and he took 16 gallons in 200 miles. So he gets very good fuel economy at the speeds we were going. And he has, 100 gallons in there, so he's still got a lot.
When will you do the next concrete pad?
Man, I don't know. They're expensive, so I don't have the funds to do. If things would have everything, if the world wouldn't have fallen apart, and we would have been doing really well. So even YouTube revenue is way down, because none of the advertisers are spending the money that they used to, because nobody's buying stuff right now. Or what they are buying is the essential stuff that they don't need to advertise for. So that, plus the fact that we are no longer on the road right now making money from that, I don't have the money to do that. So all these plans that I initially had of concrete pads, and then we would have already started the building already. It's gonna have to wait until after we sell our house and then do that stuff. So.
For better mirror vision, have you tried round convex mirrors that eliminate blind spots? They work great.
On my bus, I have round on there. I've added round on both sides.
Tyler.
Plus, I have the 360 view camera system, which is incredible. There's no blind spots whatsoever while I'm driving that bus on my bus. His bus, yeah, he didn't have the round convex, and I had him behind me to tell me when there was somebody, because there was that little Fiat that was, I couldn't even see it, not even inkling that car was there. And he says, a yellow Fiat next to you, and then a couple seconds later it went by, and I was like, wow, I did not see that car at all. So that's a tiny little tiny car. They're almost the size of a smart car kind of thing.
Okay, and whoever asked about the Rolls-Royce question earlier, Greg Wilson chimed in on here. So you might want to look at that he's the Rolls-Royce guy, and he's got the Rolls-Royce Club book, and he'll look up, contact him about that.
There you go. Talk to him.
Are you still using the 360 camera system, and do you still like it?
Yes, absolutely love it. I haven't been on the road, but yeah, I've used it every time. It is incredible. It really is. Especially, going down the highway, like when you pass somebody, you're clear and you can get over, which I don't want to ever cut right in front of somebody. But it's nice to know that you're clear and that nobody else has jumped in that lane, especially like if you're passing and there's like a third lane and you're passing somebody in one lane and somebody could come around the other side and pass on the right and hop in before you could get over. That was always a big concern of mine. So that 360 camera system eliminates those worries, and that is everybody should have it on their bus.
Would the new AC on Lenny work while you're on the road?
I believe it will. Our rooftop areas worked when we were on the road, so I don't see why it wouldn't.
We're usually pretty comfortable going down the road with the windows open, though.
Yeah, but again, we don't, we're always kind of in that 70, 80 degree temperature range that we're shooting for. So we go up north in the summertime and down south in the wintertime. So we're not driving in 110 degree heat days, that kind of thing. I guess another super chat on there. Nathan, Hello from Alberta, Canada. What's the biggest issue you've had on Lenny? Well, that dropped valve wasn't really that big of a deal. That was like the perfect situation for a drop valve that we had last year. I don't know if you remember that story. If you were following us at the time, we had just built the engine, had the head done. The machine shop didn't do a very good job on the head. We started it up in Oregon, and I immediately knew it wasn't running right. I saw a cloud of smoke when I started it. I shut it off. The valve didn't damage the head at all. Just one little nick in the liner, but yeah, we had Joe come out, and by Sunday night we had the bus running, which was like a miracle Hail Mary thing. Other than that, the only breakdown on the road that I've ever had with Lenny was when the fan came off and went through the radiator, and I was delayed 12 hours. And we, on the side of the road, Lance came and helped me, and we soldered up every single 44 tubes in that radiator had been cut from the fan going through the radiator, and we soldered up all 44 tubes, put a new fan, cut the fan shorter blades because the ends were curled over on there. And 12 hours later, I was home with the bus. So that's knock on wood, the only issue that I've really had.
What is the requirements to join y'all's Patreon?
There's no requirements to Patreon. So it starts at $5 a month. We do exclusive video content on there. We do some sneak peeks, a lot more behind the scenes stuff. She does a lot of stuff on there with me as well. Well, a couple live chats a month with me on there. We share more personal things about the property and our lives and stuff like that too. They're on Patreon.
Are you for hire right now?
I am, especially if you want to come here. If you want to bring your bus here, that is great. Or if you live somewhere close, I don't want to travel far yet, but if you were close, we could try to get something on the schedule too. I just saw another super chat come in there from AHR? Is that how you pronounce that? Edge. That's a very interesting name. I've never heard that before. So it's either a real name or just an abbreviation or something else. That's cool. Where are you from?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Have you checked your GPS to see the elevation on your property? I have not.
I don't remember. I did. I don't remember what it was because I tried to find out. It wasn't accurate.
Well, you did because you checked it at the bottom, then you checked it at the top,
But
and
it wasn't
even
accurate.
it wasn't even close.
That is correct. That was just using my phone one.
We measured straight down, and it wasn't even close.
Yes. But I don't remember what it was.
How can someone contact you?
Scott at busgreasemonkey.com. There's a video specifically if you want to schedule service. Just go on YouTube and search scheduling bus grease monkey or something like that. It'll come up. It'll tell you exactly what to type in for the subject line. I get hundreds of emails a day. If you just send an email to that without that specific thing, there's a good chance it's not going to get seen. That's the best way to do it.
Are you going to Pennsylvania for the bus and truck show? Are they still doing it?
Is that the Hershey thing? Yeah, no, I won't be going.
What color is Tyler's bus? It looks nice.
It's like a maroonish color.
Burgundy, yeah.
Yeah, burgundy something.
How's your mother doing?
She's fine. All better. Thanks for asking.
What is it like living in a bus?
I like it. It's cozy. Comfort. What else would you describe it as?
Yeah.
It has everything we could want in there. I mean,
You just have to really downsize.
yeah. I guess if you have a different, maybe at like different stages in different people's lives or something, like you want the giant house. We've had the giant house. We still have a giant house. Our house is like 5,000 square feet. Our master bedroom in our house is 900 and some square feet. And this bus is 200 square feet or something, 250. I don't know what it is. So 8 foot by 35. That would be not including the engine and all that. So you're probably the livable space on the inside is probably 30 feet long by 8. And curved roof. And actually the walls are skinnier than that, so I'd probably say 7.5. But once you kind of change your philosophy on stuff. You know, I want the biggest big screen TV there is. I want the, you know, the biggest, baddest, whatever. Once you get rid of that mindset and simplify your life, it's peaceful.
I feel it's a waste when we go home.
Yeah.
Everything's a waste.
I'd like to have a.
He wants a bathtub, though.
I told it's gonna look like one of them Cialis commercials out here, because I'm gonna get a clawfoot tub and set that bitch outside here on the dirt hill. We don't have to have matching too, like his and hers, but I miss having a bathtub.
So you're gonna be stingy and just get one for you.
Okay, I'll let you have one too. Then we really will be the Cialis commercial with the outdoor bathtubs. Better knock before you come on the property. You better respect no trespassing.
I want a modern one out there. Oh, you're just crazy. Is it true Scott wears a pink bunny suit in all Patreon videos?
No,
it's funny. Scott was going to put it on tonight.
I was going to wear the pink bunny suit tonight.
I told him it'd be too hot.
It's actually chilly out, so I'd have been comfortable.
Do you want some tips on rebuilding your bus's, is it tri-coat air wiper motors? My dad and I rebuilt several for my bus last year. They're neat design and it helps to have spare wiper motors for parts.
Yeah, so the one wiper motor, the cylinder, the housing for it is extremely gouged. So we tried to hone it out and that kind of stuff. The felt, both my motors work. The one is stronger than the other one, but they do both work. So, and that's because we had a third one. Somebody donated me one, and I was able to take that one apart and use the parts from one into the other and get the best of the three to get two that are working.
Any regrets on your land purchase?
No, right? I mean, what would be the regret? Yeah, none.
Nope.
It is the perfect piece of property, in the perfect place, next to the perfect people. It's great.
Except our babies aren't down here.
They will be. I would have bugs no matter where I live, so that's what you're saying.
Rodney Middle says you put a fire under it and have a hot tub. I already told Scott, why get a bathtub when we could put a hot tub out here?
Yeah.
Can solar run that hot tub? No, I joked that I was going to get you one of those troughs over at Tractor Supply.
You need clean water in the tub for me, because
you'd be working on the bus then jumping right in.
I would. I definitely would. Could you imagine how nasty that would be? That would be.
I'm telling you, I'm going to go back and get one of those troughs for you. Have you thought of a log home on your property?
It's not our thing.
We like modern.
Yeah, more modern. I think a container home is going to be perfect for us if we do it something neat. It doesn't have to be big.
We need at least a couple bedrooms though, because eventually there will be grandkids.
Bedrooms would imply that the grandkids would stay the night. I thought the whole point of grandkids is that you send them home. I'm just joking. Don't give me that look.
Sounds like I'm keeping the house up north.
Yeah.
Keeping my 5 bedrooms.
A year ago, I was so excited about grandkids. I'm like, man, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to be a grandparent, because my kids are old enough to do that. And then I babysat the grand puppy for a day and realized I'm not ready for a grandbaby yet, because the grand puppy I could
that puppy's a handful.
I could put that thing in a cage, and you can't do that with the grandbaby.
That puppy's a horse.
Yeah.
It's a Saint Bernard that has a pea brain.
Yes, he does.
He's cute, but he has a pea brain. With all that land, is that the only entrance, or are you going to make another?
Probably not going to make another. So.
That'd be hard
That's
to
what we
do
got.
because
It could be done though.
it's steep all around, and
Yeah, but we could. I mean, with the right
we
equipment, we
could,
could
but
do
I
whatever
don't.
we wanted. But I like having the one private entrance. There's not people coming and going, and we can see what happens.
We actually have two ways
We-
onto the property.
We do because we now have a
We have a path through to
path
the neighbors.
to the neighbors now. Yes, a drive,
Our
a
private,
road that goes
a
to the
private
neighbors.
road to the neighbors.
I'm tired.
What else is new?
What else is new? Nothing is new. I'm always tired yet. I'm glad it stopped raining. We've been on here for like an hour and a half. We're coming up on an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes.
Have you seen the Container Castle on YouTube?
Yes. There's a show on, I don't know if it's on Discovery or what it was on, but it's on no, it's on Hulu. Hulu?
I don't remember.
Hulu or Netflix. It's on one of the two, Container Homes or whatever. But some of the stuff they do on there is crazy.
The budgets are ridiculous.
Yeah, the one guy
what
built a
they're
container home. He had a $2 million budget, and he used 6 containers. Is that what it was? Or maybe it was 3 containers.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. So some of them are crazy, but they're neat to see.
Are you going to have solar gate with a remote at the entrance? Yes.
At some
Eventually.
point. That was one of the first things we were going to do. That was like number 1 on the list, was get a gate, and then we had to watch what we spent our money on because.
Well, a gate that I want several $1,000s. So.
Yeah. We got to the point where septic tank was more important than a gate.
Does Lenny or Larry have cruise control?
No. Pedal to the metal. That's his cruise control. They used to have throttle locks on them, but neither one of them are hooked up anymore.
Okay, there's a question for me. Are you camera shy or just selective on what videos you're in? Left to me, I wouldn't be on any of them.
Yeah, that's correct.
Not camera shy, but nope.
She's had a few too many weirdos on here that have made her very not want to participate.
What do you miss about Indy? The kids, family.
Yeah, and the Indy 500.
Yep.
Because usually the entire month of May we would try to spend out at the track.
Not this year.
Yeah.
Has the neighbors wanting a vintage bus yet? Doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Do you have a golf cart to get around on the property? No, we have a
No.
thing.
No, yeah, we have the thing. I could definitely use a golf cart. That would be great. A 4-wheeler would be handy. That kind of stuff. Going down and getting the mail and stuff like that. We currently use the thing. A golf cart would come in real handy.
Okay, I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. Will pay whatever. So I believe that was the person that was asking about you working. So just send Scott a message.
Google the "How do I schedule the bus grease monkey" or whatever. Search for that on YouTube, and that'll tell you exactly what the title for services is, and then
What information is
that'll
needed.
go to a special folder for me. And yeah, but yeah, Little Rock, Arkansas is that's not super far away. So
We would be able to do that.
yeah.
Didn't they cancel the Indianapolis 500? They postponed it. I think it's in August now.
That's the last.
It's going to be so hot.
Last I heard it's August, but I don't know how they're going to do that with fans and stuff. So
But if it is, it's going to be so hot.
yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous. Yes, Life Uncontained on YouTube. That must.
That's
Is that something we watched? No.
I've seen their videos.
Okay.
Yeah, they built a container home, and they're still working on it.
I think maybe you showed me that or something.
I
Is
probably
why
did.
it sounds familiar. How much horsepower can you get out of a 671 Detroit?
The marine ones that I was working on this year were like 475, I think. But realistically, in a bus, you're going to be, like 350 is probably as much as you really want to.
Adjusted to the cultural differences of living in the South, are you embracing the new surroundings?
Yes. I don't know that there's really any cultural differences other than people are extremely nice and friendly. So if that's a cultural difference,
Yeah, I think it is. Well, there's been several. When they say they'll call you right back,
Yeah, they're not good at calling back. We have
we've
several
found that-
businesses that we've dealt with down here, like, oh, we'll call you back, and they never call back. And then you call them again, they're like, yeah, I was going to call you back. Like, well, how many months am I supposed to wait for you to call me back? I just saw a super chat on there.
Oh, it didn't pop up on mine.
Can you find me a GMC Brigadier? I would just search on Craigslist or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe someone on here knows.
Yeah.
Someone says grandpa and grandma. You're Pappy.
Yeah, I'll be Pappy. That's already been established in the
Yeah,
family.
our daughter says that he's Pappy and I'm Meemaw. That's what she tells the dog. Go by Pappy and Meemaw.
Do I look like a Pappy, I guess?
Do I look like Meemaw?
I'm not going to answer that. Don't smack me. I was just teasing. I love you. I was joking.
If someone wanted to learn to train and apprentice, assuming they had their own bus.
Man. Probably not. I don't know. You know, I mean, all of my videos teach as you go, and I let people come and volunteer and help on jobs and things like that. But I wouldn't take something on like that, because a lot of times when I go, people don't have places for 2 buses, or it's just not a realistic thing, probably.
Did the bug fogger help? Yes.
I haven't been bit. Well, I sprayed with off, but
You didn't
whatever's
fog
flying
tonight.
around us tonight are not mosquitoes. They're something else. They're not mosquitoes, though, right? Whatever these things are.
There are mosquitoes flying around you, but there's something else too.
Okay.
How long is your water line and how much pressure drop across it?
I haven't measured the pressure drop. I have good water pressure back where the house is going to be built and where the shop is.
And that's 500
It's 500 feet from the water main
to where it comes in.
to there. And then I have another 800 feet that comes back to where the bus is, and 500 more feet of that 800 feet is only 1/2-inch line. So by the time it does get to the bus, that one's not very much. But back by where we're going to build, it's like twice as much pressure as that. And I'm completely fine with it. It's fine.
Brandon says he knows where General is for sale with an 8B92 TA.
There you go. Get a hold of Brandon.
Were GM Silversides only sold to Greyhound?
Yes, except for one, I believe. They weren't exclusively marketed that way, like where Cena Cruisers were only Greyhound, but I don't think that there were any other companies. There may have been, though. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I know Trailways did not run them. They just did one that Greyhound or that GM made for them, but it never went into production for them. So maybe other companies had them too, but it was Trailways did not have them. It was just Greyhound, but maybe some other tier companies had them.
Okay, we're all caught up, I believe.
Okay.
It's getting dark.
Yeah, it's getting dark. Although the camera doesn't look nearly that
It's going
dark.
to change anytime,
yeah.
and we're going to be seeing our bat friends soon.
So, okay. All right. Well, we're going to finish up. Thank you so much for everything. Had a lot of super chats tonight. That was awesome. Thank you so much for everybody who participated in that. That was awesome. If I get a chance, I'll do another live here before the end of the month. Tomorrow, I'm going to work on the brakes on the thing, and then
If it's not pouring like crazy.
if it's not pouring like crazy, yeah, I'm gonna get the other solar panels up there. Whoa, another super chat. Perfect Dipper 1. Is that bus a manual? And Brandon Ray, HMU. What does HMU stand for? I have no idea.
There's a weather notification. It's going to be
Yeah,
far enough.
these 3751s are always manual transmissions, 4 speeds on the column.
The guy you got Larry from, does he sell other buses there?
No, he's never sold any buses. I think it was kind of a miracle that he sold us this bus. So you know, he knew it was going to go to a good home, and he's a buyer, not a seller.
He's a collector.
He's a collector. Yeah, let's call them collectors.
A hoarder of buses?
He's a hoarder of buses. I'm not saying that he wouldn't sell something else, especially if the price was right, kind of thing. But he's not actively looking to sell any of those buses. I do know that. Okay, we done? We done?
If you're done talking.
We're done. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you subscribing and participating and watching us. The fact that I'm sitting here talking about nothing and we have, you know, 650 people watching, that's pretty amazing, I think. If you could share some of our videos, like some of your favorite videos, share them on some of your social media stuff to help kind of push the channel a little bit. That would help us grow. And the more growth we get, then the more revenue we get from our ads and stuff like that. So that would all be great. Plus, you know, kind of eyeballing that 100,000 subscribers that should be coming up hopefully in a couple of months. That'll be nice. So yeah, if you could share some of your favorite videos on your other social media stuff and things like that, that would be great. We would really appreciate that. So thank you so much for everything. We appreciate you all. You guys have a good night. And again, I'll try to do another one coming up soon.